Waiting leagues with this list. Yeah, this is a deck we were playing actually a lot of a few months ago, like when Demilich first came out. I actually top 8'd a challenge, I think, with like basically the same main deck. I did just change the Sacred Foundry for a Fountain, but basically the same main deck we top 8'd a challenge with when like Demilich or when Mending first came out. And this is a deck that I think is actually very good against Ragavan strategies. It's good against Murktide, Shadow variants. It's good against Hammer Time, and it's good against Control. And just like, and it's not particularly good against combo or big mana. And just the decks we've been playing against today have been like the decks I think you have good matchups for Phoenix with. And you know, this Lurrus is banned. It's kind of time to play your pet decks. This is definitely one of them for me. Yeah, and of course, time for Amulet round 1, probably. Playing against Yori on the Sky. No, yeah, we're not bad against 4-color Obnath. This hand's kind of land heavy, and the ending's not too good against Yorion usually. I think it's better to mulligan that hand. We can keep this one. I think we'll put back the Bolt. Obviously, if they're playing like taxes, I'd prefer to keep the bolts. But I think Yorion's supposed to assume 4-color. We'll keep that on top, and then we've got a few options for next turn. We can take it kind of slow and just cast the Faithful Mending, or cast double Thought Scour, or we can just go Manamorphose, Scour. I think I'm gonna cast the Mending. You could like discarding Mending to itself is usually fine, and then it's true that because our Demilich requires us to cast 4 spells to hit. Like, we're just waiting 1 turn here makes it way more likely that if we can mill now either Phoenix or Lich off the Scour and I get the job done. Okay, so let's Mending in response. I think I'm gonna get the Steam Vents here. Immediately punished for cutting the Sacred Foundry, I guess. Although not by much. Yeah, I think I'll put back Mending, Consider. I think I just want to hit max number of cards. Manamorphose is obviously a very good draw. So we're going to go Manamorphose. Or March over enemy consideration up against solid decks primarily. Like, I think the mana efficiency is really, really important in this deck. Like, it's just hard to, like, you can't really pitch white cards in this deck, and, like, you need to be, like just spending only 1 mana is very important, too. Alright, still no creatures. Still no creatures. This is also a problem Phoenix has, where you can set yourself up pretty well in the early game, but then you can see 20 cards and see 0 creatures sometimes, and the deck does nothing. That being said, we do have a Demilich on top. We've got a Salvaging in our hand, which is being turned off by the Teferi, but so now we have to take a turn off to Prismatic Ending the Teferi. Yeah, this is the classic Phoenix draw. Right, yeah, we'll just go ahead and go end of turn Salvaging. And then the rebound on Salvaging usually sets up for some pretty good turns. I think my opponent started to cast an Archmage's Charm there and realized they didn't have triple blue. So I could flashback a Mending now because I'm just not going to get to flashback Mending anymore. Because these are my only 2 white lands. I mean, I have the Manamorphose in the deck, of course. But it's just going to be kind of tough from here on out. Hits their land drop. I think they've got Archmage's Charm. Okay, obviously that's a very good draw. I think there's a decent chance to counter the Salvaging, but then I've got a second Salvaging plus Gutshot to get the Phoenix cast this turn, or played this turn. If I draw a land, I also get the Demilich back because I can Gutshot. Do they have something? Just getting a tap land in response? Okay, weird. No land. That's gonna have to be okay. Gutshot, get back the Phoenix. No Sacred Foundry. No, I cut the Sacred Foundry for Second Fountain just because, like, the Foundry is kind of awkward when you're chaining the cantrips together. It can be awkward with your Demiliches as well. Another great thing about Demilich when you compare it to Phoenix is you just get to cast the card from your graveyard in spots like this, which is, like, very relevant. Like here, I get to discard it to the Salvaging. This is my first spell for the turn cast. I've got a very good chance of being able to play both Liches. Restoration Angel. Weird. That's fine. I'm going to bolt the Restoration Angel after damage is dealt. And then play both Demiliches. Get the second Steam Vents. Exiling Gutshot. Visions, Scour, and then the second one. Oh, sorry. I forgot you always just exile the Salvaging first because you don't get the rebound exiling with the Salvaging. I usually like the number one cantrip. I usually like to flash back with Lich's Consider. Yeah, meta is definitely the Wild West right now. I think they're trying to Verdict and they mistapped, or they're just gonna Prismatic Ending X=4. Sure. Yeah, we're definitely pretty good against ending. Like, them spending 4 mana is just such a big cost for them. Okay, we'll cast the Consider, see if we can chain 3 spells together and get our Phoenix back. Obviously, if not, hopefully we can attack with the Demilich and get the trigger, which we can do. Usually I would cast the Consider here, but with these Mendings in the graveyard that are locked up, I think it's better to Manamorphose and make white mana so I can, like, looting away the Flooded Strand here. And so now I've cast 3 spells this turn. So I guess I'll just discard these 2 lands, cast a Demilich for 1 mana. Yeah, maybe the green's for Thragtusk. I mean, it's for Prismatic Ending. But we can dream, huh? Yeah, I do usually find the control matchup to be pretty good. Sorry, I should not F6 here, because if they counter this, I'll want to Gut Shot and then replay the Lich. But they just draw 2 instead. Yeah, just despite like us bricking pretty hard, like what's cool about this matchup is you just kind of have inevitability. Like eventually you are going to find your threats, and they're going to be really resilient in this specific matchup. Like here we can't get the Phoenix back unfortunately because we drew another land, but we can go Lightning Bolt, Gut Shot, cast 2 Demiliches from the graveyard. I'm assuming we can cast 2. We actually might be like a... No, I think we've got enough. It's actually closer than I thought. Fuming at the Lightning Bolt there, or the Queller there. The old Supreme Verdict, Spell Queller, Restoration Angel deck. Everybody's just playing their pet deck. Wait, we were laughing about... We were talking about this the other day, like the blue-white players that play like the piles and piles of creatures and then also Verdict. Not that they're definitely doing that, but it kind of looks like it. March of Otherworldly Light for 5 mana. Okay, we're going to need to chain some cantrips together, I guess, or maybe draw a Bolt for the Queller. Hardcast a Phoenix. Holding this to discard to Mending. Oh, I guess I can't discard to Mending, so maybe I should play it as just play the land. Counter the Phoenix. So we're dead in 2 turns to Colonnade. So they go for Yorion in the hand, holding up mana. I'm assuming maybe they cast the Yorion. Okay, we'll pass. Rob, thank you for Switch Prime. Appreciate you. It is Yorion, 2 mystery cards. March the Lich, play Wall of Omens. I think White March is better than anything Remanded for Saga. I don't think you really care that much about Saga as a Reanimator. Okay, so we're dead next turn to a Colonnade attack, so what we're gonna need to do here is just chain 3 cantrips together and get our Phoenixes back, which is pretty possible. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Let's go. The Gut Shot's actually like even extra good since it means if they have an answer to 1 Phoenix somehow. They can't, you know, they can't answer both. Or like, or sorry, one Phoenix kills them. Okay, so they're playing a weird blue-white deck. I don't think they're playing like have a real splash for green. So like usually I would bring in the Wear Tears in the sideboard for Rest in Peace. I think I still am. I don't think I'm gonna bring in Path or anything goofy like that. Maybe we'll play just 2 Wear Tears though, because we still have Ending for Rest in Peace, and then like 1 Gut Shot's maybe better than the 3rd Wear Tear against this like Yorion version of blue-white. Yeah, still in blue-white hell, but Phoenix is pretty good in blue-white hell, I think. Mulligan this. Keep this one. The Gut Shot's kind of interesting. It's possible you should put back the Phoenix with this hand. I think I'll just put back the Gut Shot. Tap Colonnade. Cast Consider. We can probably keep the Thought Scour for now. Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna main phase the Salvaging, I think, because it's like I really don't want to get the Salvaging Spellquellered, or you know, countered in any way. Obviously, if they slam a lock piece here, it's not ideal, but damn it. Okay, not ideal, but we can work with this. I'll discard the Thought Scour here, and then we get to go Manamorphose, Prismatic Ending, double Demilich. It's not too bad. Triple Demilich, how's that? Thoughts on Dismember and Shadow decks? I think it's pretty unnecessary these days. I think most Shadow decks have access to better removal. Can't do that with Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, just like, I know that everybody's always like, it's just kind of a meme at this point, that whenever we play this deck, we have so many questions like, Spike, I think we should cut Demilich for Murktide, or Channeler, or, you know, we should cut our Thing in the Ice. But Demilich is the best card in the deck. Demilich is the best card. I can probably keep this on the draw. Maybe we should be called Jeskai Demilich. Yeah, maybe, but, you know, people want it to be called Phoenix. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe I should rebrand. And, like, the 2 cards play super well together. Like, they're very unique for, like, this like, weird archetype. Alright, I really want to keep the Lich. I guess I can keep the Lich, I could maybe keep the Lich and graveyard it off Consider. It's kind of greedy. I think it's probably fine. Gonna have 2 more looks at a land here. Yeah, I'll change the title. Yeah, getting that extra threat in this like slower matchup is so relevant. We did draw the land, which is great. I'll just cast the Serum Visions this turn, and then we can set up for a bigger turn with the Salvaging. And oh wow, it's a lot of Manamorphoses. I don't think I need the Mending because I have double Salvaging. The only Phoenix deck I've seen is actually a Phoenix deck with the Legacy build Buried Alive. Dude, that deck was so sick. Love that deck. Yeah, I think it's exceedingly likely that my opponent's got some counter magic up, so we'll just go for either an end of turn Salvaging or Salvaging in response to Archmage's Charm. If I get 5 subs, Spike, look at your deck. You only have for 2. Yeah, I'll look at your deck. I think this deck is better positioned than meta. I do think it's better positioned, yeah. Like, you would think that you would see a lot more Titan right now, but right now we're seeing a lot of, like, Control and Ragavan decks, like, and, like, Hammer Time, which are all decks that the Phoenix deck is usually very good against. And, like, you don't usually want to play Phoenix when there's a lot of combo or big mana. Those are usually the matchups that Phoenix really struggles in. But it has felt pretty good. Or, like, at least, like, the matchups we've been seeing the last 2 days, I think it's going to be likely pretty good. And then we just crushed a control player, and I think we're, you know, and we're super ahead right now against this Murktide player. We're going to discard the Mending to this. Or so the ending, the ending. Obviously, yeah, there's a good chance that this gets countered, which is fine. So we're kind of looking for either a cantrip or an untapped red land. So I can cast both Demiliches, but I guess you just casting one here is fine. And I can also cast the one from the hand, because this is game 1. I don't really need to like fear graveyard hate too much. Yeah, there also seems to be like a somewhat distinct lack of graveyard hate in the meta right now, possibly because Wafo just like isn't playing any in his blue-white list, which is good news for the Demilichers. Does anybody still play Buried Alive Phoenix in Legacy, or is that like kind of a dead archetype? Because I remember I tried it like a little bit when it first came out. It was like really cool. I remember I also tried Demilich in Legacy like a little bit off stream. Maybe that's something we could return to also, but I ended up not loving Demilich in Legacy that much. Any consideration for March over Path, or is it enough? Well, you mostly want the Paths in the Sideboard Exile Murktide Regent. That's the main card you want the card for. Let me just attack here. My opponent obviously has a counter spell, and if I slam the Manamorphose, it just easily gets countered. So I kind of just like attack, cast Demilich from the yard. I play it, but it's Death Dead. Bummer. That deck is so cool. I remember I was actually watching Caleb D like work on the archetype a little bit back in the day. And I remember like just like it was a great stream. I think I'm gonna actually cast a Bolt here too, because I'm kind of choked on red mana. And I have 2 bolts in my hand, so I don't think I need to keep this in the yard. Exile, Salvaging, Ending, consider. I don't really care if they counter this, or kill it, whatever. Otawara deal. Like, yeah, I've seen the land grant versions. Like land grant was just so good because like that was your free spell for like Ritual Buried Alive too. You need that 3rd spell. It's fine. It's a good chance that they can't counter my Manamorphose, but if they can, then they're dead. If they can't, they are also dead. Big blue-red. 2 spells cast. Oh, it's kind of too bad there. But this is fine. We're gonna get to double bolt them, attack with Phoenix. We cast 2 Demiliches. Game over. I think it's Blue Moon. I think that it's really unlikely that my opponent does not have Murktide Regent in their deck. But maybe I'll just do 2 path 3 ending. I feel like ending is important for Relic of Progenitus. Maybe I'll just go down to like 2 gut shot or 1 gut shot. 2 path, 4 ending, 1 gut shot. Because ending can hit either Ragavan if they have it or Relic. I don't really care that much about Blood Moon. It's obviously like not bad, but if I fetch an island and I also have Manamorphose in the deck, I usually don't mind it that much. Blossoming Calms are good against Burn, and they're also good against Belcher, where you get to have hexproof for like 2 turns against Belcher, which is pretty nice. And then what's also cool about Blossoming Calm is it's a 1 mana rebound spell, and rebound spells are kind of at a premium in this deck, where just getting to start your turn with 1 spell cast is really big. Like we're playing the Salvaging card, Faithless Salvaging, and this card is mostly played for the rebound. Keepable hand. I think your Shadow is okay after banning. I enjoyed the Martyrless. Do I think 4-color Shadow could be on a comeback? Potentially. I think like there's tons of potential, and like a lot of people are scrambling to find the best, the new best Shadow variants. I think I get, like you said, like I do like the Mardu list I've been playing. I'm planning on playing that in the Hunter Burden, unless maybe I 5-0 with this then. It's okay. Another awkward thing though is my Phoenixes and Demiliches are all foil, and most of the other cards aren't foil. So I always feel weird if playing a deck like this in paper, where like the payoff card is foil. I think my endings are foiled. I would have to like scramble and find other foils for the deck, because like people will definitely raise an eyebrow at you if you play a deck like this and only your Demiliches and Phoenixes are foiled. You know what I mean? I'll be a little bit embarrassed. I mean, also you could double sleeve and just make sure like they're not marked. Let's cast the Serum Visions, see if my opponent interacts with this at all. You can keep the Thought Scour. I'm gonna be okay just I think waiting and casting the Salvaging. I usually like to play these control matchups pretty patiently. Why do they raise the eyebrow? If a card is foil in your deck and it's not like double sleeved, and sometimes even when it's double sleeved, it is like, not that difficult to like cut to the card. Okay, people always say this. I can't cut to the card. We always have this conversation a lot. Like I always, there's a lot of things in life where I just feel like my senses are dull. Like people will like point out things in music or like that they can see these changes on the card. I just feel like I have dull senses sometimes. But that's kind of a tangent. But it is true. Like if your foils are too curved, like they are considered marked and they're not like legal to present that way. And so usually just like double sleeving your deck solves it. I'm sure if I double sleeved my Phoenix list, it would be fine. But you just have to make sure that if you're playing with foil cards, that you're not playing with them marked. But there's just tons of things in my life where people like ask me stuff like that. I just don't understand. Yeah, and of course, always, if you're ever unsure of something like this, just call a judge, and they'll be happy to help you out. And usually, like if the foils are like pretty random, it just doesn't matter. But in this like specific case, like if we're just foiling the Liches and the Phoenix, like I would raise my eyebrow if my opponent was playing this deck with just foil Liches and Phoenix. You know, it is like a little sus. Am I playing on streaming the challenge tomorrow? No, there's actually a paper. Nice mystical dispute. There's actually a paper Magic tournament in my hometown called the charity tournament for suicide awareness prevention called the Hunter Burton Memorial Open that I'll be playing. But you never cut your own deck, so why does it matter? Yeah. It is fine, but like. I will tell you, if you guys are ever planning on playing like competitive paper events, like competitive players, they will like very rightfully suspect you of trying to manipulate your cards if you present the deck this way. And like obviously, like what matters more than anything is you not actually cheating. But if you want to be above reproach, above all doubts, this is something you need to be aware of, that people are gonna suspect you. Blue-red here. A little bit punished. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to get the extra Phoenix back, I guess. How do they handle cards that are only foils like Nexus? So I actually played the first PT where Nexus of Fate was legal, and at the Pro Tour they actually issued you a proxy for Nexus of Fate. They issued you a basic forest with Nexus of Fate sharpied on it. Instead of you actually having the real Nexus in your deck, because that foil that one was also like a kind of a special case where all of the Nexuses were really warped, and you could only buy them, and you could only get them as like the buy a box promo. It was kind of a mess, to be honest. You want to counter this one? Oh no. Bummer. Couldn't you brought your Phoenix back by ending my Lich? I did bring my Phoenix back. I couldn't bring back the Phoenix in my hand. I did bring back my Phoenixes. I just couldn't discard this Phoenix. That was the choke point here. Yeah, and before anger. I mean, I can flashback Mending. I think I'm just gonna go to combat here. It's fine. So I guess now I'll... Oh, the beginning of combat's already happened. Never mind. Yeah. It's rare for proxies to be issued like that. It's like very much a special case there. Flashback Mending. I think I'll actually just discard 2 lands here. Because one of the few things I'm weak to is Graveyard Hate. Oh, sorry, I thought I had a land to play this turn. I thought I could cast both Liches for 1 mana. It's also going to be fine. But like if my opponent does like pop some Graveyard Hate, I'd probably just rather the Phoenix be in my hand and hard cast at this point in the game. Yeah, these matchups are just like always so lopsided. Like you saw, Phoenix is definitely a deck with super polarizing matchups. It's great against Murktide, Blue Moon, Blue White Control. There's so many of their cards just don't matter at all. But this deck is pretty weak against, you know, big mana and combo. Like Prismatic Ending is like gives you so much resiliency to Rest in Peace and Chalice, you know. And if without the Prismatic Endings, like you're so much more vulnerable to hate cards and Hammer Time. I mean, you basically never put back Manamorphose. But I'm probably casting Salvaging on turn 2. Trust it on for an Esper sideboard. Big mana, Titan, Tron. Yeah, the Tron matchup's not very good either. I have determined that the best sideboard card for this deck for Tron is actually Cleansing Wildfire, like you see here. And what's good about Cleansing Wildfire is you get to flash it back with Demilich. Which I think makes it the best option. Oh, and we are playing against a Tron variant right now. I should maybe Prismatic Ending the map, but Matthias usually plays E-Tron, so I'm actually kind of worried about Chalice in 1, so I'm going to save my ending for Chalice in 1. Oh, no. Okay, sorry, I thought I yielded incorrectly there. Not sure how this matchup usually is. Is salvaging good at certain cards? Starting your turn with starting at the turn with your rebound is very, very important for your deck to function. It gives you like that critical density of spells. It's also a discard outlet for Phoenix. Salvaging is really good. Like I know we have triple Manamorphose here, so like it looks like it's unnecessary, but Manamorphose is also by far the best card in your deck. It's kind of you know, kind of a different animal. I think I'll just cast another Salvaging, actually, discard the Lich. And try to set up for another turn next turn instead of trying to get value this turn, which I think I'm not that likely to. Gone far in Elden Ring? No, not that far. Well, I don't know. I'm like level 50. I've got a +10 sword. I'll probably play some tonight, but I've got a lot to do tonight. Gotta get ready for my deck. Gotta work on some Channel Fireball stuff. Gotta spend some time with Esther. Okay. Ballista, not too scary. Let's discard one of our 2 lightning bolts, I think. Don't love drawing lands. Yeah, I'm just kind of digging deep for another threat, because we can get our Liches, any Liches or Phoenixes back here. I guess I'll draw that, just because we are, once again, out of gas. At least we had 1 threat at the top of our library. I'm going to go to combat, see if my opponent wants to kill the Lich. They do, and we just get to replay it. Got any Rocket Variations replace the tournament? I'm not super familiar with the... Or like, I don't know, it's kind of like on the other side of town. I don't go there that often. Like, I'm probably not going to be staying, like, in Hearst for the, for dinner. No, there's a paper tournament that I'm playing tomorrow, the Hunter Burton. Well, we should be playing the challenge next weekend. Yeah, delusion. No, I'm in Texas. Speaking of challenge, it's gonna be a difficult game to win. Maybe not though. My opponent's like best thing to do with Tron mana was Ballista on 3. Not sure how much this Thought Not Seer matters. You have space for one Otawara? Maybe, yeah. Maybe not. Grabs a Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, I believe the 100 Burn is going to be streamed live. It was last year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you fit the Otawara in the deck, but you might be able to. Yeah, you probably can't cut an island. You probably can't cut a fetchable. You can maybe cut a canal, but canals are pretty good. Yeah, Texas has a pretty good Magic community for sure. I was definitely very lucky, like, to just happens to live in an area with a very big Magic community. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. Interesting choice to exile. Right then. Salvage, discard Scalding Tarn. And then I guess we attack Karn, flashback, consider. See what my opponent does. Draw a card. This isn't my last fetchable, is it? I don't think so. Yeah, that's not quite. Okay, so we've cast 3 instants and sorceries. So we got a double Gutshot Karn so that they can't minus it again. And then we will flashback the Lich, exiling all our spells, unfortunately. But they could potentially be starting to run out of gas. We'll see. You played Dress Shadow last year? I did, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a full year though. It was like 6 months or so. Like they usually do the 100 Burden in March, but they bumped it back due to COVID in August. The event that was actually like it was run really well last year. Yeah, I top 8 with the Shadow deck last year. Oh yeah, the Stream Decker's out of date. I cut the Sacred Foundry for a Fountain. It's kind of a new change. 4/4 Ballista this time, and making the map a token. Okay, we're gonna have to draw really well. I don't have a salvaging. I do have a salvaging. Okay, I couldn't remember. This will definitely help. Shoot. Guess we'll cast the Mending. Okay, Prismatic Ending is a great draw. I think I'll discard the Prismatic Ending and then flash it back with the Demilich, bolt the Expedition map, then cast Demilich. Oh no, sorry, they'll Demilich. Yeah, they'll kill my Demilich. So then I just bolt the Karn and then cast both Liches. I think I cast both. I'm not sure. Obviously, I cast this one, but then I have to exile all my spells from my yard for the other one, and I lose like the ability to flashback anything. I think I just need to, and it helps to top deck spells. That's a pretty crazy draw. That's a good game too. Yeah, usually big man is a tough matchup. Give him a run for the money, I guess, game 1. Let's see. So Wear Tear is usually a bit better than Prismatic Ending. In this matchup, it's important to be able to answer Relic and Chalice. I think you still want the full 7 of each. Yeah, I might just be bringing in the Wear Tears and the Wildfires for the Gutshots and the Bolts. Seems fine. Yeah, both not being able to hit Karn is tough, but hopefully we can just attack Karn. Any Resurgent Belief updated builds? No, I'm not a huge fan of the archetype, to be honest. Spent a lot of time with it, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of wiggle room, and like it was good. It was better when people didn't know what was going on, but now that people know what's going on, I just kind of don't believe in it. Capacity good versus Eldrazi. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like you usually lose this game to like Reality Smasher, Battery Shaper, Thought Seer. Like your like your Demiliches and your Phoenixes will win in combat usually. Like, and it's also true, like, when they have, like, the cards you care about in this matchup are Relic, Chalice, and Snaring Bridge. And, like, you need to have the full 4 Wear Tear, full 4 Ending. You need the Wildfires to interact with their mana. Like, it's hard to also have Path to Exile. You know, you are pretty limited on the amount of interaction you can have. Yeah, Ending is hitting Chalice of the Void and Relic, which are super important. Any Blue-White Stoneblade updates? Not really. Ashiok is pretty bad against E-Tron. It only hits map, and it's too slow, even on the play, to hit a turn 1 map. Killing Karn is most important. Not necessarily. Like, you can kill Karn if you can kill the cards that Karn tutors in this matchup. You can just attack it. You definitely keep this hand every single time. And you put back either the Wear Tear or the Salvaging, and I think the Salvaging is probably just a bit too important. How could E-Tron play Chalice on map? They play 4 in their deck. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not that big attention. I'm not here to explain to you how the mind of the Eldrazi Tron player works, but I can tell you that they do. I can tell you that they do play 4 of each. Is this one of the higher skill intensive decks? Yeah, I think that Demilich Phoenix is a really, really difficult deck to play. Like, you have nothing but the deck is nothing but a pile of difficult decisions. How did I get a sponsorship with NordVPN? It was actually one easy step to get the sponsorship with NordVPN. I became a Twitch streamer with 1,000 viewer average. Wait, they're playing Balagad Recovery? It was very easy. One, sponsors hate him or love him, I guess. Ugh, rough. Just have a big Twitch stream and they'll get a sponsor. Alright, land lets be Phoenix, obviously. Relic is tough now. I had to put back the Wear Tear. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, I mean, what did you guys think? I don't know. I get a lot of emails for sponsors. Like, NordVPN is one of the very few companies that reach out to me that I'm interested in working with, too. Very happy to be working with them. A little late on this land, huh? So I can go Manamorphose, Salvaging, threaten the Phoenix, gets relicted, and then next turn I get another Phoenix back. I think that's probably what I have to do, as gross as it is. I don't think I have another... I think that, like, hoping that our opponent taps out of Relic is just never going to happen. And maybe we'll draw the 4th Manamorphose. That is the thing. That is one of the things to like about Phoenix always, is that the deck is like always has the potential to like nut draw out of like difficult situations. And they have the second relic sometimes, I guess, and the Chalice in one. Okay, so let's go Manamorphose. Name red blue. I guess I did red blue because I can still fuse Wear Tear if I draw it. Hitting Chalice Saga. Okay, so this will force them to pop the relic. They might not have too many basics. We'll see. A little floody. Which version do I like? A blue idea feels the best. I'm just like kind of waiting on the metagame to settle a little bit before I tell you. I think that Snapcaster obviously got a lot of stock when March of Otherworldly Light was printed, but it's just too early to tell. Too early to tell. So my opponent can get Tron next turn. If they're super duper flooded, we can win. Okay, hold on. There's Forest and Balagad Recovery. I'm so confused. You can't even Expedition map for this. Yeah, I think the step list is good. There's like a lot of good ways to build it. Like, I think my Bance list is like at least very good on Magic Online. Alright, if I don't draw Prismatic Ending or Wear Tear this turn, I'll concede. Alright, not conceding. Problem is I'm down 2 Phoenixes in the spot. Like, you would really need to hit some Phoenixes, but we still have the potential to. Yeah, I think I should try to max upside here. Do you tweak your decks with Sideboard for larger tournaments rather than MTGO? The meta is largely different in some aspects. I don't know, like, my experience, I've now played like 3 big-ish paper events since COVID. Am I dead on board? I'm not dead on board. I can block. What are we talking about? I've played 3-ish, I think, big paper tournaments so far. And my experience at all of these tournaments is that they are kind of like a weird imitation of Magic Online. They're not exactly the same, but they're close. They're close, and there's a lot of similarities, but like basically every single time I've played a paper tournament, like it all feels like more random, like a random Magic Online event rather than like any like semblance or illusion of predictability. So I think that trying to, like, you know, big brain your way through these events, and I think I should probably just take the turn off to Wildfire them off Tron, and then try to Demilich next turn. I can't Demilich this turn, right? Yeah. I've cast 2 spells. I guess I can just play the land and then Demilich. It's a good draw. Yeah, I like just trying to like make your brain explode and crack the mainframe and figure out what the paper metagame is, man. You just gotta figure out what the paper metagame is. It's just kind of a waste of time. All right, going to 1. I can't fetch Shock. Oh, sorry. I obviously needed to Wear Tear first. I do get a Phoenix back. Sorry, I need to Wear Tear the Chalice. That's a huge punt. Oh no, and I thought I could get my Demilich back. Now I'm down to 1. Just cascading mistakes. Ugh, sorry, chat. Doesn't matter anyways. Definitely a tough matchup. It's definitely not the deck you want to play into any Tron decks. Yeah, you can't snap back Fire Ice. It should be set. It should be fine. It is like it's never been represented to the degree that people act like it is online. What does DFW mean in European? It's an acronym for Dallas Fort Worth, which is the metroplex that I live in. So it's a big area. I just want to make sure that the salvaging resolves. It's always so important. Was a trophy race a one-off recurring? So that was the second time we've done the trophy race. I expect they'll do it again. I really enjoyed it this last time. I think my mindset and everything was like a lot healthier and more productive this time than last time. I don't know when I'll do it again though. I don't know exactly if they're gonna be different stakes or I'll discard a Mending here. Like another thing is like if we're gonna do the trophy race again, and I will do it again at some point. I want to have it evolve a little bit. Like it evolved to like, you know, we've got the trophies this time. We've got like more fleshed out competition. Um, I just want to always be moving forward and not just staying stuck and doing the same thing over and over again, you know? Because that's how you die. That's how you die. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I'm also like the trophy thing was really fun. Oh, thank you for the remand. The trophy thing was cool. It also cost me $1,500 to get Menino the trophy and painting. It's just ridiculous. And I know that Brazil is like a bit of an exception. It doesn't cost you there that much for most places, but it's like like if I had known this was gonna be the cost, like this would just I would have done something else. Or so maybe if we do trophies, like I will just commission you a trophy in your country, but you know that's like a little less cool. I don't know. And there's also sponsors and payouts could be something to do, but I also like the idea of like keeping it more casual, because I would prefer for competitive Magic to stay competitive Magic, you know, a GP system. Like, that's competitive Magic, and then the trophy race is, like, a fun challenge thing. You know what I mean? And I also think, like, monetarily incentivizing people to trophy race is maybe not that healthy, because, like, a lot of the streamers are in a good financial position to do it, and I doubt that we would get to the... we can't financially incentivize hundreds of people to play, realistically, and it just really isn't, like, a healthy way to spend your time if you're not, like, making content out of it. So I'm a bit worried about like encouraging like super degenerate behavior with like a big prize pool for it. So I'm thinking there's obviously like we can continue to talk about it. I do want to evolve a little bit and move on. We'll see. Yeah, we could doing it for charity is probably the best way to do it. But it's like actually like figuring out like what does that actually look like is like a bit weird. Like, is it just me giving money? And the weirdest thing, that's what I wanted to do the first time, right? Was like, I give all the money to charity if I lose. But what I don't like about that is if I'm competing to not give money to charity. You know what I mean? Like, if I win, woohoo, we don't get to save any orphans. The orphans, you're going to have no Christmas this year, or, you know, whatever it is. We're not, sorry, Trevor Project. No money for you this time around. Hope I lose next time. So that just feels a bit weird to me. And I would kind of prefer to like figure out a structure where we are competing for something, but where also we get to benefit a charity at the end. So I don't know. Yeah, so like maybe custom awards, sponsors, something like that. So it's all gonna take a lot of work and again I'm also like, you know, I talked about this like when me and Caleb were doing the like, what if Splinter Twin wasn't banned? What if Pod wasn't banned? Mini series, whatever, 2 off, whatever you want to call it. Like, that was really popular, or at least like relatively popular, and people really wanted us to continue. People really wanted us to continue to test the series, but neither of us were really interested in testing any other card. And I kind of refused to do something just to do it. I kind of refused to do the trophy race or do that series if the only goal is I know it will be popular, but I haven't grown. Nothing's been innovated. So I'll continue to work on it, and I'm sure we'll figure out something cool. Seems like you do a donate to charity plus the amount of trophies won. Yeah, I actually like that a lot. You like $20 a trophy, $50 a trophy. Oh, that'd be. I'd have to do some math. Don't quote me on that. Okay, let's actually keep this, but I think I'm supposed to wait. Like, obviously I can jam Manamorphose and try to get my creatures back, but they've got so much mana up, I think it's better to just go for a salvaging turn instead. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, though. Like, set a baseline for a charity, and then each charity, or each trophy is more money given. And yeah, that also makes sense for me, because the more I win, the more, you know, generous you guys are. Hopefully. We'll see. But the trophy races have been a lot of fun. We'll definitely do it again. I don't know when though. I don't know when. I have really like as I'm sure you guys have seen, like I've really been enjoying this this break from the race and just like focusing on what I like to do more than anything, which is deck build in Modern. Didn't Caleb do a band series for CV like 15 years ago? Yeah, or 10 years ago. 15. Yeah, he did. We kind of, brought it back, I guess. We just did Pod and Twin though. Well, I forgot how to play around Endurance. I was definitely supposed to just cast a Demilich here. I used to be better about playing around Endurance. We still have 4 looks at a creature here. Got everything shuffled back in at least. You go to Phoenix. What did they pitch? Another Endurance, okay. Did I touch Caleb's beard? Yeah, that's all I did when I was in Chicago. I'm surprised it grew. I don't know. I guess he shaved the beard a while ago, but he shaved the beard for like, was it like 5,000, 10,000 or something? And it's already like it grew back so fast. I know that it's been back for a while, but I'm still kind of shocked how fast it grew. My beard doesn't grow that fast. This is one of the higher skill intensive decks. Yeah. We've said this a lot. Like, I think Phoenix is a really hard deck to play, and also the hardest thing about Phoenix is resisting the urge to put terrible cards in your deck. That is the hardest thing about the deck, is to just not mess with it. Let's add Aria Flame. Let's just add Aria Flame to the deck spike. We put some Thing of the Ices in here. Come on, I really think Thing of the Ice. That's the missing piece to all of this. That's the that's the hardest thing about playing the deck. Hey Evan, how's it going? That appears to be the hardest part about every deck. Yeah, it is. Wait, they didn't get any white mana? How did they not get a white source there? They're like, are they just pitched casting Solitude? They don't have any way to actually cast the card. It's good grab. Yeah, I know Aria Flame used to be a sideboard plan against graveyard heavy deck, but you just don't need it because you now have Prismatic Ending and Wear Tear. You're actually really good against hate, or against like lock pieces specifically. You're less good against cards like Endurance, but Aria Flame is the card Aria Flame is also worse than it used to be because of the presence of cards like Endurance. I've cast 3 spells, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Aria Flame is worse because of Prismatic Ending. Sorry, I misspoke there. Okay, so I guess we'll Prismatic Ending the Endurance, and then I hope to be able to rebuild. They only have 2 cards in their hand, but they also have Hall of the Storm Giants, which can just kill me in a couple turns. That's 3 Endurances down. They still didn't get a white source. What is happening? They have Solitude in their deck. They have multiple Solitudes. I said Argus clicked. But this is the second time they've fetched with you need 2 white sources. You need 2 of them, opponent. Go Bolt on the Shark. Then cast Salvaging. Play the land because it just gets discarded to the Salvaging, but Salvaging draws you a card if you don't have any cards to discard. You're already doing your second run of Elden Ring, dude. I'm like barely level 50, and I'm like kind of lost. So I have a lot of like stuff I'm exploring. I feel like I just haven't made. I've been doing a lot of stuff and killing a lot of monsters in Elden Ring, and just like not making any progress. But I'm having a good time. Yeah, I'll keep both of those. Okay, so immediately casting the Demilich this time to play around Endurance. Couldn't you cast Mending with that on the stack? You don't want to. Why would you want to? Cast the Mending before the looting? Yeah, like you go down on cards when you cast the Mending before the looting. I think it's just better to not go down on cards there. Just set up for a better turn next turn with the rebound, and you have the Mending to flashback. So they attack with Hall of the Storm Giants. I'm probably double blocking. It is rough here that they get to attack me for 4 down to 7. So now I'm dead to 1 Hall attack. Okay, interesting. Playing a more defensive plan here. If they counter this, I get to flash it back with the Lich, so I shouldn't be too worried about that. Looting on the stack means Mending gets to build 2, gain 2. Then you draw for the looting, doesn't it? Well, let me try to parse this out. You get to draw 2, gain 2. I understand that. I'm going to leave the Phoenix back on defense so I don't lose to another counterspell here. The turn you drew Mending, not ending. Well, so I cast Mending. I have no cards to loot, though. Then I respond with the salvaging, and then I have 1 card to loot. I see. But I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm pretty... it's more mana intensive, right? So if I sequence it that way, then I can't draw anything off the salvaging and use the mana off of it, and I don't feel like I accomplish very much. Besides, I guess maybe if I've been a Phoenix, I get to get it back. So maybe that is better. I see what you're saying, though. Oh, I'm glad you ended up listening to him, Evan. Yeah, he's great. Big Oliver Tree fan. He's actually got a concert coming up that I'm gonna go see. Pretty excited for. Yeah, I see. Yeah, maybe that was good. I like the suggestion. It's pretty creative. We're gonna beat 2 endurances. Graham, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate you. Should you have cast Bolt and Salvaging on your upkeep to get the free card from Salvaging with the hand? Maybe. It kind of just depends, because like if you draw Phoenix for turn, you'll really wish that you had helped the Salvaging. It's all kind of so tough with this deck. It's why it's so difficult. How did the Rectus Scourge deck end up going? We ended up winning like most of our game 1s, and then we ended up losing like almost all of our sideboard games. And so usually when that happens, you have a deck that's either very fragile to hate and or have a misbuilt sideboard. And usually it's really like a combination of column A and a combination of column B. But it may be something we revisit, like maybe splashing a color is interesting. We kept getting like ripped by like sideboard dress downs, was really tough. Okay, they finally have a white source. This is not enough by itself though. They need something else. Endurance? Endurance is something else. No, it's March of Otherworldly Light. Got down to no cards in their hand. All Twin Cons, good username. 3 months. We're playing Lotus Field, March is loving it. Yeah, I really like that deck. I thought about playing it this weekend. But then I would also have to take... I've got one of my Lotus Fields up there. I'd have to take it down from the collage. I was looking through my cards, you know, trying to get cards together for the Hunter Bird, and I'm like, why do I only have 3 Lotus Fields here? where is my 4th Lotus Field? But it's been up there for a little while. Trade with Yogg again. Sounds like you found your deck, Cat, for Sunday. All right, pretty standard Phoenix League. 3-0, 6-0 against the blue decks, 0-2 against the E-Tron deck. So Exile usually plays a lot of Hammer Time. His hand's okay against Hammer. It's a little land heavy. Also has the best card in the deck, Manamorphose. I think I'm going to give it a keep. My friends and I have been playing Modern without any Modern Horizons 1 or 2 cards. It's been much more fun than current Modern. I mean, I think that just playing Modern with your friends in like a more relaxed environment like that, you know, it is always more fun than any constructed format. Like me playing Return to Ravnica Innistrad Standard with my friends is more fun than current Modern. It's more fun than anything. I don't know. Like, cause there's kind of like, you know, playing Magic like a curated format with your friends. There's kind of like nothing better than that in the in the game. Yeah, E-Tron would be the best deck without MH1 or 2. Alright, yeah. Prismatic Ending Demilich is really, really good in this matchup. I think I'm just gonna make blue here though. Cast the Lich, and then we get to start using this as a recursive removal spell. When Heliod just wrecked that format. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, no MH1 and no MH2 is really different than just no MH2. But it is true. Before Modern Horizons 2, I and a lot of players were really, really sick of Heliod and Prowess just being like the 2 top decks for like 3 months. It was getting pretty bad, I think. Ooh, milled over a Phoenix. We can get our Phoenixes back, so I guess we should, huh? No 1 toughness creatures over there. Cause I don't really need this gut shot. I can just scour myself here. Anyway, maybe I should get another white source. I'm trying to think what I attack with. I kind of like killing the Ornithopter with the gut shots here, actually, and leaving a Phoenix back. Killing the Ornithopter might mean that my opponent will have a hard time getting Metalcraft for Pure Steel Paladin. Play with March of Blue much yet? Yeah, I've played a lot with it in like Band Control and Lotus Field and like Boros Stoneblade. The card's really good, I think. Okay, so they are going to have Metalcraft because they can animate the Nexus, and we are actually just dead. Okay. Update these new decks in Stream Decker. Most of the recent decks I've been playing are like somewhat up to date, yeah. Probably not the best answer I could have given you. I usually like to trim a Phoenix in this matchup. And I usually trim 2 Mendings, 3 Serum Visions. Was there any thought to just ending the Shadow Spear there instead of Scour? Yeah, I think that was probably the better line. Get rid of the Shadow Spear. Because then I'm actually probably beating that exact board state. Can't really mulligan, double Wear Tear against Hammer. Just, yeah, very, very control heavy hand. You're definitely, you're definitely a control deck post board against them. And that plan is also, I think, better now that Luris is out of here. I think I could survive. I couldn't survive with the line I took, but if I had taken a different line, I could have survived. They were attacking with, 22 Trampler. I only had 2 toughness back. It's Hammer, Cigar to Zaid. It's going to be okay. Let me try to Mending, and I can try to Wear Tear this next turn. That's, I guess, not going to be an option. I'll just discard the Gut Shots and shoot. Okay, a little stuck on lands, but I can kill the Cigar to Zaid in response to Hammer being cast. Exile is pretty good, though. I don't think he's going to just play into the white mana. Early version deck, you're playing DRC before playing white for Mending. Why did I abandon DRC in this version? Because now you have access to Faithful Mending. I haven't played DRC in this deck since Mending's been legal. And let's hope that they can't get another artifact in play. Obviously, if they can, we're kind of toast. Toast. See if X moves this Hammer over to Sentinel. Yeah, X plays this deck so well. I do get to go ending on the Sentinel, let my opponent draw the card, bolt the Paladin, do a little bit of hoping, a little bit of coping. Obviously missing our third land after all those looks was really tough. GG. I usually like this matchup a lot. Could have definitely won, or played pretty differently in game one. So exile the Shadow Spear, leave the blockers back. It's kind of tough for them to win through the Phoenixes being recurred. Did I not concede? Oh, sorry. I thought I already conceded. They also kind of had a pretty sick hand. 3-2 with Phoenix. Everything is normal, huh? Everything is normal. Okay, no last minute pivots to Phoenix for the Hunter Burton. Still think a fine deck against really polarizing matchups. Really good against blue decks. Not that good against big mana. That's going to do it for me today. I've been Aspiring Spike. Kind of crazy that we had like over 1,500 viewers the entire time, or most of the time, that a PT is going on. You might not know there's the Neon Dynasty Championship happening right now. I guess they haven't gotten to constructed yet.